Now guys, this is my Jupyter notebook. Okay, and I just open this particular car price prediction. Okay, now what you can do is you can simply just go over here and go to the kernel guys. Okay, and try to go with the restart and clear all the outputs. So I'm just going and clearing all the outputs so I can able to discuss, we can discuss each and every code with you, right? Now one more thing guys, let me show you the final output for this particular code with you, right? Let me show you the final output for this. So for that, what we need, we just need the anaconda prompt. Anaconda prompt I just need. Okay, and I'll simply go and open this anaconda prompt, right? This is my anaconda prompt. Okay, just go. Okay, and let me just select this folder, and I'm selecting this particular path. I'm copying it and I'm going into the anaconda for prompt. I'm just saying that cd, which means change the directory. Now just go and select, paste the path, enter it. Now after this, here you can see that in this particular folder I have my app.py file, this particular file. If you see my app.py file, if you see, so what I can show you over here, just simply go to the anaconda prompt, just write the python app.py and enter it, right? I just wanted to show you the final output for this particular project. Now guys, in this particular part, we will be using the one famous library of python, which is nothing but the flask. That is again very easy. This is not a, this is not hard. This is again very easy. Let me just press the control and enter this particular link, so we can simply go to the our this particular browser. You can see now guys, this is the web page of my particular app. This is for the car price prediction, if you see. Okay, so these are the features I just wanted to add over here, and then I can simply go and the just predict the car price, what will be my selling price, right? So here if you go and you can, let's say I just wanted to add the year for this, so let me go and add the 2011, right? Let me add the 2011. Here I can add, let's say 11 lakh, right? 11 lakh. Okay, then let's say I'll just go for the 12,000 kilometers. Okay, the car driven. Then previous owner, let's say the second hand car is this. Okay, then the fuel type, let's say go with the petrol, right? The same. Then let's go with the dealer or individual, let's go with the individual. Okay, and the transmission type, let's go with the manual car, because you will find that the most of the people are taking the manual car, because automatic car will be very much expensive. And you will find that the people are buying the cars which is second hand, and those almost all the cars are nothing but the manual car instead of automatic car, if you see. So let me go and just and praise this, and here you will find that the you can sell the car at 7.43 lakhs. So this will be my selling price, this will be my prediction, and here you can see that we got the output, right? And here I just added my company name, I added my the copyright. Here you can see my LinkedIn ID, right? So if I can simply click this, okay, I'll simply redirect to my LinkedIn, right? That is my LinkedIn profile, which is nothing but the this particular left hand side in the below lower, you know then okay, over there you will find that the link for my LinkedIn ID, right? So that is the thing. So these many things I just added. Now guys, this is very much simple, if you know. Okay, this is very much very simple. Like I just implemented the method which we saw previously, like the decision tree and random forest. Basically open the Jupyter notebook. After opening the Jupyter notebook, wherever you have this particular file, okay, like after downloading this, I guess this particular folder will be in the download folder, right? So just go to the download folder. See, this is my download folder. Go to the download folder and you can simply open your file from there. For now, my file is in the fast track, data science fast track course in the day 10 folder. And in that we have the one folder car price prediction, which I shared with you, right? And in that we have this particular file. Just click to this and you will open this particular file, right? Just open it and simply go and import the library. So as we know, first library is going to be the numpy library, and we are importing it as the np, which means instead of numpy now we are using it as the np, right? Then why we are using numpy library? To do the simple data analysis thing, then to create the numpy arrays and dimensional arrays, as well as we can also create the data, right? Then second thing is that we are using the pandas library. So if you see here, we are using pandas library to read the data. Then we have the matplotlib.pyplot library for data visualization, and then we have the seaborn library. Again, the seaborn library is for the data visualization. There is no single library in Python like for doing a singular task. So here you can see this is my data visualization library. This is again my data visualization library. Again, you will find that there are multiple data visualization library Python has, right? So let's go and run these cell. I hope now you're able to run the code along with me, guys. Now after this, here if you see the second thing, which is nothing but I am just going and reading the data just by using the pandas library pd. If you see over here pandas as pd, and I'm using pandas pd dot read underscore csv, and I'm reading the data now, right? After reading the data, here you can see that we are just using the attribute shape to get the dimension of my data, and I'm printing it. After this, I just wanted to see the top 5 rows of my data. So for that, now after this, let's go and run this and see. This is the size of my, my data or dimension of my data. You can see. So in my data, how many rows are there? 301 row are there. How many columns are there? Total 9 columns are there, right? Now, this is how my data looks like. Car name, like as we already understood these all the columns, so we can simply go ahead with our further code. Like as we know, car name, year is there, selling price, because this data is about the mostly the second hand price, the car data you can say. So this data is about the second hand cars in simple words. So we can simply go ahead with the further part of the data pre-processing, right? As we know, first is to understand the business problem. This is my first step. My second step is to read important libraries which are required for your analysis and read the data. After reading it, just see and understand the data. After understanding it, just go over here and try with the pre-processing stuff. So as we know, in the pre-processing or simply data cleaning, what we did in the previous sessions, okay, we go with checking the missing values. If is there any categorical data, so we can simply understand what are the different unique values are there in my categorical data, so we can use that particular unique value and we can do the feature engineering on it, like this. So for that, okay, let's go with first missing values. Let's go and run this. So here you can see that for each column here you will see the zero value is there, isn't it? You will see the zero value, which means that there are no null value for your data, right? If you wanted to go and understand it again, okay, so what I can do, I can simply use this data dot info. So here you can see that, you know, how many entries are there? 301 rows are there. And here you can cross check this 301, 301 entries are there, and you can cross check with each and every column entries. So in each and every column you will find that the same number of entries, which means that there is no null value. If you see, let's say there is one missing value, let's say 300 data is there in any particular random column. So then you can say that yes, in that particular column I got the one missing value, right? But for now you can see that for all my columns I have simply 301 entries which are non-null. For all you can see non-null, right? So in simple words, zero means, you know, there are no missing value in my data. You can cross check by using this as well. And the help of this, info method is to understand the data type, the structure of my data, right? So this is nothing but the data structure, right? The data type is nothing but this, the type of each column, right? And this is my structure of the data, right? Now, after understanding that there are no missing values in my data, now what we can do, if you see here, there are few object values, which means that you will find that the few columns which are nothing but the categorical column. You can see car name, sailor type, fuel type, transmission, right? So what I can do over here is I can simply go over here and I'll see what are the different unique values are there in my each categorical data, right? So for that, what I can do, this is just my code. Okay, this line is just my code. If you see that, this is just the code. Okay, but here, for printing the, for understanding the data in, to understand the output in a good way, that's why I attach this all the explanation. So you can go ahead with the explanation and understand this all the data. So let me just run this particular cell, then you will understand. So if you see over here, unique elements in seller type are dealer and individuals. So now it is readable, right? So if I can simply go over here and I can run this particular line of code which I selected, but if I go and I can run this whole line, so then it will be very easy to read my output, right? So that's what we did over here, right? Now after this, here you can see that we have the, petrol, diesel, CNG for the fuel type. What are the different unique types are there? So again, the second thing is that why we need these, why we need these. So if you see that, so if you see this thing, so we will be using this in my app, like I showed you the app. Okay, an app is saying that, okay, like there are few options about the seller type, like individual, and I created the, you know drop down menu, so from where you can select either a dealer or individual. Okay, from the fuel type you can select the either petrol, either diesel or CNG. Okay, in the same way you can select the manual or automatic. In the same way you can select the zero one first and, second and third hand, right? And here you can see that the unique elements in the years, so you can see that the model, car models. Okay, like the which years model is this, either 2014, 13, 17, 11, right? So these are the unique years, we can say. Then after understanding these, okay, so I can simply go and I can create those particular drop down options in my particular, the we can say that the app web page. Now after this, the one more thing, I guess, the car name is there, you know so here you can see that, okay, what are the unique number, okay, and unique, which is nothing but the number I want. So here you can see that the how many unique cars are there, how many unique cars models are there, 98. How many? 98 are there. Now after this, let us understand the summary statistics of my data. Okay, now basically here in my data you will find that the total 9 columns are there. Okay, selling price is my the target column, and remaining column are nothing but my input column. With the help of this remaining column, I'll be using this column to build the model which can predict the selling price, right? So for that, what I can do, I can simply understand the descriptive statistics of my numeric column, right? So just forget about this column and go with the remaining column, because you here you see this is the target column, and we don't make any changes in the target column. We will make the changes in the year, we'll make the changes in the present price, kilometers driven and owner if you want, right? So here you can see the lot of different things, like the count is again the same for all the columns because there are no missing values. Second thing is that you will find that the mean for each and every column. So here mean for year is not we want, right? Mean for year we don't want. This is my target column, again forget about this one. Okay, here this is my present price. So if we're talking about the present price, we can say that the average present price of the, you can say that the second hand car, or the car which the people wants to, the we can say that the people wants to sell is nothing but the 7.62 lakhs. Okay, now here you can see that the kilometers data driven. So the average kilometer data driven is around 36,000 kilometer or 37,000 kilometer, right? Then the car owner. So again here you can see that the owner is nothing but the 012 is there, right? So which means that this value is again near to zero, which means that the lot of cars are related to the first hand use, you can say. People wants to, let's say, upgrade the, they just wanted to buy any other car, that's why they just wanted to sell their existing car. Okay, so that's why you will find that the lot of people, those who just bought their first car from the showroom, now they just wanted to buy another new car from the showroom, so that's why they wanted to sell their car, which is a previous car, you can say. So that's why here you can see 0.0, so this value is very much close to zero na. So that's why here you will find that the first hand owners. Then here you can see that the standard deviation is nothing but the variation in the year. So again we don't need this one years, we again don't need this. Okay, but we are understanding this. So here you can see that the standard deviation. So here you can see that the variability, this is the variance in between the lags. Okay, in between you can see that this much variance you will see. Okay, this much variance you will see, so the range is quite high. This is just the average, so might be there the cars in the like the 1 lakh 2 lakh. Okay, there might be car like in 10 lakh 14 lakhs, 15 lakhs 16 lakhs. So that's why you will see that the standard deviation 8.64. Then the standard deviation, the variation between the kilometer driven is nothing but the around 39,000 kilometer. Okay, again you can see this owner, again the variation, because lot of data comes from the first hand user of the car, first hand owner of the car. So that's why again you will see that the 0.24 is there, very much close to zero, right? As compared to one or two, right? Then if you're talking about the minimum value, so you will find that the minimum value, see, only 32,000. 32,000 is the present price, and what will be the selling price for that particular car is only 10,000, right? So if you see that the how cheap is that, right? Then what about maximum car? So here you can see that the maximum car price, present price is going to be the 92 lakh, right? And the selling price will be like 35 lakh, right? So that's how you can understand these all the descriptive statistics. Again guys, if you wanted to explain more about this, just try and understand each and every term. Just search for each and every term, because here if you go for the 25% or the 50%, so you will find that these terms are nothing but the 25th percent of observation, 50% of observation, 75th percent of observation, like this. Okay, this is not hard. As you see, this is a very simple concept, but just it's to understand this particular concept, right? So like, as we know, uh, like all of you, just starting from day one, okay, you are there in my each and every batch, so which means that you guys are very much interesting, right, for understanding the data science concept, to learn the data science, so to get the job related to this. And I guess uh, might be few people working into the same, for like the not for the exactly same, you can say that the data analyst or somewhat same, you wanted to upgrade yourself, right? So for that you guys are here, right? So to understand this all the concept, guys, again I am recommending you to search for all the content, right? If you want the resources to understand all this concept, just ping me on LinkedIn. Okay, will I'll try to give you the resources. Okay, now after this, here you can see that this after understanding this all the things, now what we can do, we can just go and explore the data engineering, right? So in the data engineering, here you can see that what we are doing is we are just understanding our data in a good thing. Like now here you can see, if you go and see the car name, if we go the car name, so car name is nothing but just the ID. If you see that the person ID, okay, or the person name, yes, so this is just the label for the car. It will be like, this never helps to build me the model of machine learning. So that's why what we can do, we can simply drop the car name over here, right? So that's why we are just choosing with the data like year, selling price, present price, kilometer. So instead of car name, we just going with this data. Okay, we just going with this. Now you can use the your knowledge of the index location dot iloc method. So this is for the column name. I just mentioned the each and every column name, okay, because the columns are very few column, total eight or total 9 columns are there. And now after dropping the car name, here you can see over only 8 columns are there, right? So that's why I just mention all the column name just by using the double square brackets over here, right? You can use the .iloc method, or you can use the .loc method to just go ahead with this, you know so you can simply use the another method as well instead of this. If you want, if you find this very lengthy, you can go ahead with another method. Okay, and which method? Like I mentioned, the second method over here, see, iloc method, index location, just use this method. Okay, for that, like for the above code, you can simply use this method, and instead of -1, you can put over here 1. Okay, and it will select all the data, like from the year column, because this is the first index column. If you see, this is my first index column, this is my zero index column, because in Python index start with 0 na. So that's why this is my zero index column. And if I wanted to remove this column and I wanted to add this column, so for that what I can do, I can just start selecting the columns from index 1 to the all the index, right? So which means that I am just removing this particular column. So that's what I did over here, right? But to understand, it's visually it's very simple to understand. Yes, I just dropped this particular car name from here, right? So that's why I mentioned this. Okay, visually it's very simple to understand. Yes, I am dropping this particular column, right? So that's why I did this. Now here you can see. just by using the dot, data set dot head, or you can go ahead with the tail, and you can also go with the, you know the sample as well. So it will take you, it will give you the random samples. Okay, but for that you will have to add the numbers. Okay, how many random samples you want, either 5, either 4, 3, 2, 1, anything. This is the thing. Now second thing is that, let's go and drop the data, the two columns, and let's see my data, how my data looks like by using the dataset dot head function. Now here you can see I just dropped the two columns from my data. Okay. Okay, now after this, let's go and use the get dummies. So this is nothing but the encoding part, guys. This is nothing but the encoding part. And why I am using it? Yes, I told you axis equal to 1 means I just wanted to drop the columns. If you go ahead with the axis equal to 0, which means that this is for rows. Axis equal to 0 means for rows, axis equal to 1 means for columns. So that's why I used axis equal to 1. So see here I mentioned the labels, not the columns. So for that, okay, I'll have to, mention whether I'll have to go for the rows or the columns. So this is the label. Okay, not the column and rows. If I mention the column, then I don't need to mention the axis over here, but there is no, the attribute for selecting the column name or the row name. So that's why I'll be using the labels, and I'll be selecting the axis equal to 1 or 0. So that will define whether I have to, go with the, doing the operations. This is my operation I'm doing on my data. Okay, whether this operation, okay, we can do column wise or row wise. That is the thing.